Family lived in a symmetrical house that held two parallel worlds. They resided in both, with their steps following a specific rhythm to walk in and out of these dual realities. The house was built during the British era and stood in an old part of Dhaka called Ganderia. It was originally called Grand Area, but the tongue of time had robbed the name of its luxury, turning it into gibberish. In addition to the first and second floors, Surjamukhi's house also had rooms on the 1.5 and 2.5 floors. The family's heirlooms, memories, and secrets were stored in those in-betweens. Shurjo's bedroom was on floor 1.5, a landing that had been made into a small room. Her parents slept on the second floor and grandparents on the first. Shurjo was put there because she could not decide which set of adults she wanted to spend her nights with. They had humored her and came up with this in-between solution. This put Shurjo at an equal distance from the two couples and closest to the treasures of her family's past. During the day, Shurjo's family abided by the same world that most people lived in. After dark, when everyone was back home and the century-old wooden front gate had been locked, they switched to the other side. Death did not exist on the evening side, and additional family members joined the dinner table. Surjamukhi's uncles, who had been martyred in the country's liberation war, fought over the best piece of fish. Her father comfortably slipped into the position of the middle child, freed of his daytime role as the head of the household, and the sole living child of his parents. Shurjo was either completely ignored or overwhelmingly doted on by her visiting uncles and her maternal grandmother, who usually showed up after dinner to chew her bitter leaf in the company of Shurjo's mother. In the day side of the world, she had killed herself by jumping into a well.
Thank you. The tongue of time, I really love that. Sarat, would you read it all? Thank you.
That was really beautiful. I'm going to read from my latest novel, The Giant Dark, and I'm just going to read from the beginning because I just feel like that's the easiest. Many people would love Ida. Years after her death, her music would survive. It would play on the radio, find itself on lists of the greatest hits of the decade. At parties 50 years into the future, where people who weren't born when she began would try to remember what it was like to be us. Anniversary albums would be released 10, 20 and 30 years after they first came out. Cover songs of varying quality would cycle in and out of existence. New droves of youth cracking out from their eggshells, baby ducklings dancing to her tunes. They would continue to fall in love with her again and again. But we were the first. We loved her best of all. There are memories of discovering her that ring in us still, like eating good food for the first time. Ida was our first lick of adulthood, no longer craving sugary music, but something that hit the back of your throat instead, thrummed all the way through you. We didn't feel embarrassed listening to her in our parents' cars or swaying to her in the shower. We could be proud of her, of ourselves for our evolved tastes.
Thank you, that was beautiful.
I'm also going to just read the first little bit of my most recent book, I Couldn't Love You More. This is a prologue, which is a sort of, it actually comes quite far towards the end of the book. We flash back to it, which always makes me laugh when I look at the beginning, because I spent so many hundreds of hours rewriting the first page, which I got rid of in order to write this one. But that seemed necessary at the time. Anyway, here's the new prologue. My daughter is suspicious. She sits beside me in the taxi, squinting at the mist of rain as we wind our way through the straggled outskirts of Cork City. Who are we visiting? She asks again, but my heart is beating, leaping, I'm surprised not to see it buckling through my shirt, and my voice is caught up in my throat. The driver answers for me by turning in beside a sign, Convent of the Sacred Heart. Not far now, he starts along the humped slope of the drive, and I stare out through the window at hedgerows, saplings overshot, cows, legs folded, fields green with wet. Fence posts flash past white. There's a curve, a mesh of wire, and there it is, the home. Here we are, right enough. The man gets out, and he lifts our bags from the boot. I wait until the car has turned before ringing the bell. It shrills, and we can hear it, startling on the other side. When no one comes, I ring again, longer, louder, and even before the drill of it has died, I seize the handle and I twist, hello! There is no hint of give, and so I bang a fist against the wood. Hello! I shout, and I would have gone on shouting if Freya hadn't tugged at my coat.
Lovely. Starting on the other side.
Oh. Okay. Thank you. Welcome, sir. Thank you.
4 days, I guess. Lunch inside too, a lot of food booths.
The food booths are there.
On that side. And books are
Books are here.
right.
Long
Bookworm is right here.
Oh.
Right. I also do a little bit of writers ink. They sometimes have good stuff here.
Okay. Hello. Hello.
যখনই আপনি দেখবেন যে কারো বলছে বলে দিচ্ছে বাচ্চা আছে
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Where are you from?
Mm-hmm. Oh, the newspaper has a stand.